Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm TheChornick, and this is my Pokemon anime theory series, and in this episode, we're gonna talk about Team Rocket. Yes, Team Rocket, that of Jessie, James, and Meowth. And we're gonna talk about their future, their history, and their background. Now, this idea was kind of brought up to me from one of my subscribers, I believe, one of the commenters. He said, his name is Xenoflare. I'll just call you Flare. So Flare told me that he just asked, why hasn't Team Rocket been arrested yet? And I'm just like, that is a very good question. And why hasn't Team Rocket been arrested yet? Why are they still rampant on the loose? Why is Team Rocket still around? You know, with the children's show, it's kind of makes why they're still around, why they not arrested, why doesn't it look like criminals are being paid for their crimes or whatever, in that sense that they're being punished for their crimes. So why are they still around? Now if you kind of look back in the past with the arresting question that he had for me, the Team Rocket had multiple times where they were chased by Jenny, or the officers of the police force, and multiple times the police force failed in terms of trying to capture Jessie and James. And Jessie and James just keep going on, mainly because they are pretty big main characters of the series. They show up in pretty much every single episode. I think it's every single episode, actually. Every single episode of Pokemon ever. So, I mean, as many episodes as there are, I mean, that's just a whole bunch of annoyance times to me. But they show up in every single episode, and they have some significance in most of the episodes. And some of the episodes are just like, why the heck are they there? They're so annoying. Just move on with the episode, and it's very, very annoying. But the thing is, why have Team Rocket just stayed so long? Why aren't they gone? Why is Team Rocket still around? And now, it could be part of nostalgia, or just the fact that they were the first, criminals for this series, and that's why they kept them here. And it kind of sticks around that. I mean, you can't really find much other reason, because there is other evil organizations still around. And so why is Team Rocket still there? Why haven't they finally been arrested? It kind of brings up that question. And with Team Magma, Team Plasma, and Team Aqua, and Team Galactic, and Team Flare, there's just, like, why haven't we just moved on to another evil organization? Why is there still Team Rocket? Why is Giovanni still there leading Team Rocket, even though in the games Giovanni left and disbanded the organization? Perhaps maybe just they are trying to expand the Team Rocket storyline. Because perhaps it could go back to the fact that Team Rocket was still around when Ash was there, and maybe Red is after Ash. Maybe Red came after Ash and finally disbanded Team Rocket after Ash had his story. So that's probably why Team Rocket is still here and still around, and hasn't been dealt with by the police force or any authorities. So Giovanni will still be having much big play throughout the Pokemon Pokemon shows, and he's still considered a major character for that. And even though Ash has only dealt with him a little bit, they're still gonna keep him around for Red maybe later, when they actually showed it in the Pokemon Origins when he defeated Giovanni, and Giovanni eventually would disband Team Rocket. But Red is supposed to apparently come after Ash, so that's why Team Rocket is still around. That's why their organization has not shut down in the animes. But as terms of like Jessie and James, why they haven't been arrested, and how like certain Team Rocket members like keep getting out of jail if they do go to jail, I think it's because they're an organization and they're able to pay for members to get out of jail, like kind of like a bribe. So I mean, Team Rocket hasn't really been arrested though. Jessie and James have never really been arrested. There might have been some close calls, but they never have, and they never went to jail. They just kept on escaping. And the thing is, what kind of is kind of interesting to me, how they blast off all the time and they're instantly back the next day, and they just happen to cross, you know, Ash's path every single day, every single episode, and and sometimes they come back in the same episode after blasting off, and it looks like how fast did they get back all the way there? It's like in one episode. So that kind of confused me also, how they blast and how they landing too. Like, aren't they flying up in the sky, and wouldn't they have to hit, you know, something hard? I would think they'd be dead by now, but oh well, it's an anime and all that, so I guess things can happen, I guess you could say. But anywho, so to go back to their history now, I will describe that. Jessie wanted to be a nurse before she joined Team Rocket, and she grew up in this, I don't know, she didn't really grow up, but she was in this kind of teaching school for nursing, and she either failed, I believe, or she just wasn't cut out for it, and she left, and she joined Team Rocket later down the road to make money and all that. And eventually she became a criminal. And then James was once part of a rich family, but he refused to marry this one woman to carry on like the family's heritage and the family's like mansion and everything. He was supposed to be given all that wealth handed down to him, but he didn't want to marry that girl, so he thus joined Team Rocket to escape from his family and not being able to, and he just wants his own freedom. He doesn't want to be stuck down with that. But anywho, but as for the future of Team Rocket and their background is now, I mean, they're really annoying, but like if you really look for like the positive and like what good traits they do have, they seem to kind of crack to being good sometimes. Like, there's so many episodes where they turn out to be good in that certain episode, or they you know, turn to the good side or help out Ash in some way. And even later, you know, they even rescued Ash one time during that cliff. I'm just speaking of something recent, and they rescued him during a movie with the Entei. I remember that one. But yeah, so my point is they rescued Ash a bunch of times. But anywho, but Jessie and James, also another good trait from them is that they're really good chefs. Like, and this was kind of brought up also recently in that one episode where they had the summer camp, and Jessie and James made a really good meal and everybody liked it. And even when the madam, their boss during that time, told them they were doing, like, she was really upset when she found out they were criminals and not real chefs, and she was wondering, you know, she was kind of sitting there, she was like, it's such a bummer that they're, you know, they're not doing what they're good at, and they're trying to be criminals. And, you know, she saw that there's something better in them, and that they could be, you know, famous chefs for all she knows. So I say for the future of Team Rocket, I think they'll be very good business people as well, or some kind of chefs, maybe, you know, restaurant owners is what I'm saying. Because even in a lot of the Pokemon shows, especially during like the Pokemon League times, they were doing business and they were selling stuff, and they were actually making money, and they're actually gaining all this money and everything. So, because they always complain about money, I'm like, why don't you just stop with Team Rocket because you're bad at crime, and just start doing business because that's actually something you're good at. So, you know, who knows about that too. So, but in terms of back to the question of why haven't they been arrested, that is really a good question, but I think it's back to nostalgia and the whole point of them not getting rid of Team Rocket forever, because of the reason of Red maybe coming after Ash, and the disbanding of Team Rocket won't happen till way later. So Team Rocket keeps coming back. They're gonna stay annoying. They're still gonna keep capturing Pikachu, even though they fail hundreds and hundreds of times. It has to be hundreds and hundreds of times right now, because that's how many episodes. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching my video. Please watch my other videos. I will probably make a part 2 to this, because I believe I didn't get to everything I wanted to talk about in terms of Team Rocket, Jessie and James, and all that bigger pictures. But if I missed anything, I will make a part 2, and please help me out, guys, with that. And please subscribe if you'd like. I'd very appreciate it. Please watch for more Pokemon theories, and peace off. Thank you guys very much. Have a very wonderful day.